Good morning, Internet. It's me, DaBuzz, sexiest fat man in the universe. How you doing? So, the other night I come across this video, it was trolling around YouTube, from a Christian apologist, calling himself God is Real 101. Let me like this real quick. And he was putting forth a challenge to atheists. And it was 25 questions for an atheist. And I thought to myself, I want to get the post, challenge accepted. So I decided to try to make up a series of videos, taking each of his incredibly inane, retarded questions that any atheist who's been an atheist for more than a week and a half has heard 1,000 times. So number one on this list of questions is one of the dumber questions. Why has every civilization that's ever existed believed in some kind of creator? And he's right. Just about every civilization that's ever existed believed in a creator of some type. And that is just stupid. That's like saying, since they used to believe the world was flat, we should believe the world was flat. They used to believe that the Earth was the center of the solar system and the sun revolved around the Earth, then that's the way it is. Let's just throw out, any evidence we might have. Fucking retarded. But it got me to thinking. Up until Christ, there was no such thing as a Christian, and really, it can be argued that for the first 100 years or so, there weren't really any real Christians. I mean, there might have been like a couple of sects, a couple of groups of people who would meet in their houses, but they really just blended Christianity with their own pagan religions, which, by the way, they still do. They still do. I mean, just look at Christmas, Easter, Halloween, any major holiday. It's all pagan traditions blended with a Christian story. But just because they all believe there's a creator doesn't make it valid. Just because the Aztecs believe that the sun god needed the blood of their children to win the battles for the underworld every night doesn't make your argument that there's a magical sky daddy any more valid. It doesn't work that way. And their next obvious question is, well, if there's no creator, then how did something come from nothing? And I can remember as a young boy asking this question because I was raised Episcopalian and then Jehovah's Witness. But my folks converted from Episcopalian to secret. I asked, well, then he created God. And I got this long-winded spiel about how God is eternal and how man can't grasp just that God has no beginning. So God was created from nothing, and God created everything. So therefore, everything really did come from nothing because God is actually technically nothing. And then God is nothing, which means there is no God. It's just a circular dance of the logic that these apologists try to use, and smoke screens to try to confuse people with. And, when you're in the faith, it works. When you're brought up as a young child, young and impressionable, it works. It really fucking does. Gods are like superheroes. They're fun to look at. They're fun to think about. I like watching documentaries and reading the stories of Zeus and Poseidon and Athena and the Iliad and Homer's Odyssey. These are all great stories, but that's all they are. They're just stories. I mean, if you think about it, if you just have a quirk in ancient history, we're worshiping Zeus. We'd still be worshiping Poseidon. We would still have temples where with virgin priestesses. We'd still think that Medusa was out on an island somewhere, turning motherfuckers to stone. But instead, we believe that a Jewish carpenter was tortured and murdered and then came up like a zombie and You know, and he still had his physical body. Don't tell me he wasn't a zombie. Remember Doubting Thomas? He said, "Here, put your fingers in here. You know, put your fingers in my spear wound. Put your fingers in the holes in my hand." You know, Doubting Thomas was a hero of mine even growing up when I was a believer. So, point in case, just because all the civilizations that came before us believed in a creator doesn't make your argument. It doesn't make your argument valid in any way. Because civilizations that came before us believed in a lot of messed up shit. They believed in things like slavery. They believed that people of a different color or looked different were not human. They believed the earth was flat. They believed in dragons. Stuff that you would dismiss as silly fairy tales. Well, you know what? That's all I'm doing, is I'm dismissing your ancient, outdated, outmoded beliefs as the fairy tales they are. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm the Great Almighty Buzz.